this week, but we've had some good fun. Joseph and I went out to the RV where Caleb and Dale were camped out, and Joseph was able to go walking a little bit. Now, it had been raining as usual here in Florida this time of year, still getting used to that. And so we couldn't take his walker, but we did take his cane, but we did forget his brace that he puts around for his. Not actually a brace; it's just a band, and it kind of helps him keep everything stable, especially his morphine pump. I forgot to take that, so he got a little tired, and then he gets frustrated with himself. And I hope he can understand why he gets so frustrated with himself and why it helps so much when you give him those words of encouragement. He was so active, guys, before all this happened. He was kayaking. We were hiking. We just did everything, biking, just all of it. I mean, he takes his truck to go get serviced and puts his bike in the back so that he can ride the bike home while he's waiting for it to get done. That was just the kind of how active he was all the time. So this, he's learned how to live with this, and he tries not to be depressed. But we do what we can. So that's why he gets frustrated. So all those words of encouragement that you give are so helpful, and I read every one to him. So don't think that I don't. I do. So, but I want to kind of combine what would have been yesterday's and today's, and I'll have to look at my notes. I didn't set things up. I was just really trying to live in that moment with Joseph, and I know you understand that. But we have been talking about domestic violence and how hard it is to get out of those relationships and all that. We're going to next week. I'm really excited about next week because we're going to talk about what you do afterwards. What are those things that you can do for yourself and your family and all that. And it's really exciting. But I'm just going to combine the two right now. And I need to explain a little bit what happens with the children when you get out of domestic violence, especially if they have experienced some of it too, or they've just seen it, especially the physical violence. And it's funny, and I talk to women all the time and people in these relationships. They'll put up with so much, but when it starts to affect their kids, they're out of there. And that's so true, so true. But then you got to deal with what happens afterwards. And like me, you're so naive. You think, okay, we're out, everything's gonna be great, blah blah. No, my church still deal with stuff, and they're in their 30s. My youngest just turned 30 this year. So they'll deal with depression. They'll deal with anxiety. That's a big one in our home. I mean, we diffuse a lot of oils for depression and anxiety here. And orange is a really good one, and all of our diffusers are tinted orange inside. Not everybody's are like that, but ours are. But you deal with that. You have a hard time in school. Oh gosh, so hard in school. Just the concentration, things like that. And sadly, I mean, I don't have the numbers here because I didn't have the time to do all that, but if you need them, let me know. If a young boy has seen domestic violence in any shape or form, they're more than likely to repeat it. And if any girl has seen it also in any shape or form, they're likely to have it be in a kind of relationship like that. So we're talking generational things here. So we're going to have to break those generational things. So next week we will start talking about that. So excited about next week. But I also need to talk to you a little bit why it's so hard to get out. And I've had this asked of me even. Why don't you just leave? Well, first of all, if they're controlling all the purse strings, it's hard. And a lot of times you leave and it actually gets worse. And that was in my case. It got worse after I left. Thank goodness I had the support system I did, but it was still bad. And that's why a lot of times they come back. So please keep that in mind. If it's you or if it's somebody you know, please don't be judgmental. Just be there for them. Learn yourself what you can do to help them. Hang on one second. Everybody's back from going someplace and my auntie wants out. Sorry. That's Annie for you. Then they may threaten to hurt or kill them if they leave. That's a big one. I didn't have to worry about that, thank goodness. But I did have to worry about other things. And sometimes they come through with those threats. And those little pieces of paper you get from court do nothing. Okay, so we as a community, we have to come together and be there for them. They make them fit me. This is more of the mental stuff. They'll get you to where that you believe that you are responsible for things. Oh my gosh, I still to this day deal with that. And how embarrassed, and then I get embarrassed. I can't believe I took responsibility for things that have nothing to do with me. So please keep that in mind too. Let me see what my notes say. Oh, they also, this is a big one, and it happens, they'll isolate them from their friends and family. So what are you supposed to do? Where are you supposed to go? How are you supposed to get out? And then, like I said before, the finances. And then after all this, you're going to have low self-esteem. You've got to get it built up. And that's why, once again, we have to be there for them to help them get out and help them do the things that they need to do. We as a community can do this. It's just a lot of work, and it's a lot of non-judgment, and it's a lot of empathy. But we can do it. So I'm so excited about next week. And I'll be putting more of Joseph's journey up. We're going to try to walk today, if it's not raining, of course. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.